All right, so let's get going here. Character number 4. Birthday cake chocolate. Oh. Well, if it's a birthday associated, then happy birthday to you or to whomever's birthday it was. Otherwise, do you need to have a birthday to eat cake? I say nay. Strawberries, boysenberries, blackberries with banana and apple. Oh, that sounds so good, XCat. You have ghost sauce on the is it it's not showing up. Wow, Derek. Nice. 12 pages of prep in 2 hours. The ideas are just pouring out of your noggin, man. Nah, anchovies are fine. It's the olives, Chaotic Blue, that get to me. Oh, gotcha, Derek. I will give you a piece of hot dog. You ready? Up. Good girl. Come on, up. If you want it, you got to go up on your hind legs. There we go. Yeah, nice. I'd give you a high five, but you're eating, and you'll savage me. Oh, and they jumped at the chance to make it weekly, Derek. Nice. Yeah, indeed. Nice. Nice. All right. We know the record by now. Female, male, or multi-class? Let's find out. 60. We have a male doggo who is of size small. Oh my. We have a pupper. We have a small SMOL, small pupper. Okay. And is of the alignment 9783. All right, so we have another chaotic, evil, small dog. Who, our lawful good sensei, she's testing her patience, isn't she? The scarecrow was too scary, XCat says. Derek says, right now, this arc can go in a few ways, but it was inspired by Subject Delta from Bioshock 2. What are you as a PC gonna do when you get between an overprotective father and his daughter when he's a werewolf and not taking no for an answer? I like that pitch, and I kind of want to. I want to see the movie that would have been like the blurb on the back of, right? I'm a Tin Man, Frankenstein, knight in shining armor, but to my own daughter, I am daddy or a monster. One too many times I lost her. Once I was a guardian, but now I'm counting on her. Oh, I like that. Yep, you draw inspiration from lyrics and other things, Derek. Okay, we are level... We rolled a 69. We're level 15. And of all the feats available to us, we always seem to be just shy of the next one, right? Let's roll a percentile. 20. We're taking all stat bumps. XCat says, what happens to a dog character if they are bitten by a werewolfer? That's a very good question. You'll have to find out. There you go. Come on, up. Yeah, good girl. You can stand on your hind legs when you want to. I know you. She can. All right. We are an awakened animal as a background. And I'm going to roll the magic big golden D12 of which class are we? 10. A sorcerer dog. A sorcerer pupper. A small boy. And which sorcerer are we? We rolled evens. And evens are wild magic. And our small boy is, let's see, we rolled 48. Our small boy is an adult. So probably between 5 and 8. So I'll roll a D4. 5, 6, 7. He's 7 years old. All right, there we go. A wild magic, small, chaotic, evil dog. Yes. Charisma increases by 1. Hey, that's fine. We're a sorcerer. We are small in size. Now, it says dogs have a base walking speed of 30 feet. Would a small dog have the same? With the way that the rules are written, it seems to imply that large dogs should be large size. And I've been putting medium because large size belongs to horses, cattle, etc. There are some large dogs. But I don't think that there's dogs the size of horses. Or other, like, beasts of burden in that fashion. However, I mean, if we're talking, I think large dogs and medium dogs should be medium, and a small dog should be small sized, even though when you get down to the size of chihuahuas and such, those would technically classify as tiny creatures. Because tiny is more along the lines of a cat. However, when you have PCs that are large size or tiny, that could possibly start creating some very interesting rules, complications, or interactions. And I'm not saying that you can't run a large creature or a tiny creature. If you're a DM and you're going to allow it, make sure you understand what those sizes mean for your PCs and how you might be impacted by that over the course of your story. Two from our race and then a third. I mean, we've done this enough now. We know we're going to get a third one from our background. 60 feet of dark vision. And then, of course, we get best friend. Charm person. Once per short rest. Charisma based. And we'll get our bite attack up here. 1d8 plus strength, piercing. So we get worse than the bark. And then we'll get something from being small, and then our 2 racial feats. By being a small dog, we get 2 dexterity. If your attack is a critical hit, you may dodge as a free action after resolving the attack. That seemed kind of awkward. I'm going to write it down, right? Let's just think as a concept, all right? This is a slippery dog. It's a little yip, yip, yip dog. If we go by the mechanical rules, that's fine. I don't know. It's kind of a weird, quirky thing. It's not going to happen all that often, and I don't think it's very powerful or applicable as a racial. But you know what? I mean, we're playtesting it. We already covered it. If we don't abide by the mechanics, let's at least go with the concept. We get a small little yippy dog, chaotic evil, and see where he goes. Insight and persuasion. Pardon. We have our language. We'll have a memento, a favorite toy, and 1d6 gold pieces. 4. And then our background feature, once again, a friend by every fireside, which I don't think is named appropriately for kind of what it describes it does. But that's, you roll into town, you sniff a couple butts, and you know what's happening. You know, it's the snoot on the street. (2d8) personality traits. 7 and 3. 3d6 for the others. 5, 4, 2. There we go. Let's see. Chaotic Blue, did we decide on Chihuahua? Because that's my pick. TJ says a Jack Russell. They are genuinely insane and full of too much energy. I'm open for either. Anyone else out there want to throw a breed out there? Oh, we have a third in contention, a Pomeranian. Well, do we have a tiebreaker? If you're out there watching, throw out, give a vote. Pomeranian, Jack Russell, Chihuahua. What would you like this dog to be? While you're thinking, let's go over its personality. 7 and 3. I love to play more than anything, be it racing around with children or more cerebral fare. And 3, I have a tendency to diffuse tension with humor and love doing silly tricks to make people like me. Killer sense of humor is throwing out Corgi. We have 4 different breeds. I mean, if it comes to it, I'll just roll a die. And that's fine, too. I want to, having choice is not a bad thing. Ideals. 5. Knowledge. I have a unique gift and perspective. And I must share that and further my knowledge of the world so maybe more like me can follow. You wouldn't let this talk to your children. You may not want it to, but it wants to be around kids. And it's crazy enough to do it, too. Its bond was 4. I made a promise that the child... I knew as a pup would always be safe. I work towards that still. Well, the child is safe if he just destroys anyone who could possibly threaten him. And flaw is number 2. Deep down, I am angry at the way my species is treated, and I am easily offended by condescending attitudes or perceived cruelties. There we go. You want to know why he's chaotic evil? Ladies and gents. Corgis are too pure to be evil, says Dark Wolf. Chaotic Blue, the hardest part's trying to get a few PCs and give them a chance to emotionally invest. Killer Sense, if it's good enough for the Queen of England, it's good enough for us. All right. I'll just roll a D4. And, so Chihuahua, Jack Russell Terrier, what was the third? Pomeranian or Corgi. Looks like it's going to be a Jack Russell. I'm kind of hoping for a Pomeranian now. Chaotic, you had your chance. You had your chance, Chaotic Blue. All right. Let's go over to Sorks. '15th level. My, oh my. We have a +5 proficiency bonus. We have 15 sorcery points. So we're going to go down here. Sork points. 15. We're going to know 6 cantrips. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll know 14 spells. All right, spells are one of the last things we do, as those are dependent on our engine, on our stats. And if you notice, we make characters that have character first. Ability scores are important, but you know, very often we tend to get caught up in the mechanics of our character. I want to discover who our character is first. The mechanics will follow, but who is our character? Why does he think the way he does? What is compelling him to make choices? And then we go from there. Every character has stats. Not every character has the same motivations, fascinations, things that they feel ashamed about, that kind of a thing. TJ, it went to Jack Russell Terrier. Chaotic, you blew it, says Dark Wolf. Wah, 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 wah. Alright, we are D6 hit die, so we're level 15. So there's 15 D6 hit die for this character. No armor proficiencies, but we do have weapon proficiencies in daggers, darts, slings, quarterstaffs, and light crossbows. And no tool proficiencies. Saving throws, constitution, and charisma. Choose 2 from Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, and Religion. Let's go back and take a look at his personality. I love to play more than anything. I have a tendency to diffuse tension with humor. That could be persuasion, perhaps. Deep down, I'm angry at the way my species is treated. I made a promise that the child I knew as a pup would always be safe. I worked towards that. And knowledge. I have a unique gift and perspective. And I must share that and further my knowledge of the world so maybe more like me can follow. So maybe Arcana? Arcana in Deception? Maybe he deceives people, right? He appears playful. But that's a front for him, because he actually smolders with not just generic rage, like he actually has rage in his soul. But he has to deceive people about who he really is. Knowing that if the humans find out, they'll put him down. No, if the other dogs find out his true nature, that they'll abandon him. And he'll have no one. Does that seem reasonable for this character? You think Arcana and Deception would be good for him? Derek, is the werewolf father being played by Liam Neeson? That's important. I'll find you, and I'll awoo! Yes. Well, I think we can all press F to pay respects to your players if Liam Neeson, as a werewolf, is trying to take his daughter back from people who stole her away. Caddick Blue, maybe. At Please for the Humans, yeah. I'm also thinking he's charismatic. He's a charismatic Espoo Eaker recruiter to other dogs. Well, he has persuasion. At least deceptive to humans. That's right, Dark Wolf. I will find you and I will awoo. A charismatic speaker. Okay. Well, yeah, so he has persuasion already. Also means is how my kind are treated has more merit. Ah. Mm-hmm. A light crossbow and 20 bolts or any simple weapon. Guess we'll give him a light crossbow. Why not? We'll give him an arcane focus of some kind. an explorer's pack, and 2 daggers. Alright, so there's our spell casting. Again, we're not worried about that right now. We are going to get our Sorceress Origin. We'll get to that. Sorcery points. Here we go. We have our sorcery points located down here, so we don't need to make another note. Over here in the margin, we'll save space. So we're going to get Meta Magic. We're going to get 2 Meta Magics. I know Liam Neeson is already a CR32, but I mean sometimes there's just a bigger fish. Oh, gosh. Like Chuck Norris. Alright, given his nature, what kind of meta magic would he take, right? Let's keep his personality in mind here. And the fact that he is impulsive and selfish. I almost want to say empowered spell. And heightened spell might be interesting too. Because that imposes disadvantage on the first saving throw against it. Meaning he's going to punish people. Right? Heightened spell, it costs a lot of sorcery points, but you use that to punish people. I don't think he's necessarily subtle, especially as a wild mage. Maybe twin spell. No, I think he wants to punish people. He is an upset doggo at the world. He just wants to keep his kiddos safe. And he doesn't mind blowing people away who are going to get in his way. So he's going to take Empowered Spell and Heightened Spell. Wild Magic for the Archetype. Immediately after you cast a Sorcerer spell of first level or higher, DM can have you roll a d20. If you roll a 1, roll on the Wild Magic Surge table. So, Wild Magic Surge. We have Tides of Chouse. You can manipulate the forces of chance and chouse to gain advantage on one attack roll, ability, or saving throw. Anytime you begin use of the feature, the DM can have you roll in the Wild Magic Surge table. Bend Luck. You have the ability to twist fate using your wild magic. When another creature you can see makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can use your reaction and spend 2 sorcery points to roll 1d4 and apply the number rolled as a bonus or penalty. And we're level 15, so we also get Controlled Chouse. You gain a modicum of control over the surges of your wild magic. Whenever you roll in the Wild Magic Surge table, you can roll twice and use either number. And there we go. You think Quicken Spell and Empower, TJ? Why Quicken Spell? I don't mind changing it. I'm not upset or anything, but why would you say Quicken Spell? Oh, you know what? We forgot his 2 feats, by the way. Derp. We got to roll a 22-sided die twice. 21 and 3. All right, so 1, 2, 3. The eyes have it. You are just the cutest. You have advantage on any social ability checks based on being adorable. This is why we take deception.
Unlimited power.
And number 21. We're also a snow dog. You are naturally adapted to cold weather. You have resistance to cold damage. And so we'll put that up here. How do you calculate armor class? Is there a particular... you could do that a couple different ways, Golden. Is there a particular character you have in mind? Or are you talking just in general? Or what are the circumstances? Impulsive, quick to respond to an insult. Okay. So we'll do... Quicken spell. Dark Wolf is making the point that a Pomeranian is more snow doggish. He could have had a wild magic accident and and grew. It's like a long-haired Jack Russell. Yeah, I was creating a character and couldn't remember how to do something, and one of them was AC. All right, so usually Golden AC equals well, all right. If it's just a person, it's 10 plus dex. Armor, light and medium armor, will allow you to add dexterity to a base number to some degree. So if you're wearing leather armor, the armor gives you 11 plus dex. Your modifier, not your score. However, medium armor will give you a number and dex, but it'll cap your dex bonus to 2. For example, scale mail is 14 plus dex, maximum 2. So you could have a +4 bonus to dexterity and wear scale mail, but you'll still only have a 16 AC. Spells can change the calculation, and some class abilities can change. Class or racial abilities can change the calculation. Don't apologize, Golden. You're fine. Okay. Now that we have our chassis, let's drop our engine into it and see where it goes. Charisma is definitely important for this character. I think a 15 should be dropped in there. Dexterity is going to also be important for offense and defense. So we could probably put our 14 here. He seeks knowledge. $13, 12, 10, and his dump stat is strength. How about that? Hey, Zerby, good to see you. Welcome. Good morning to you. Oh, I get your references, Derek. Alright, after our racial modifiers, Dex goes to 16, and Charisma goes to 16. we are going to get 3 ability score improvements, ASIs or stat bumps. 4, 8, 12, and almost there at 16. And we did not roll to take any feats, so these are pure stat bumps. I definitely think our charisma should go up. I want to say he's going to value his intelligence. And I think we should have his intelligence go up by 1. And then, remember, if you're floating a 1 and you say, oh, but ability scores should be even to get the mod. You get mechanical benefits out of having a higher strength or a con. If you want to be able to hold your breath longer, you want a higher constitution score. If you want to be able to lift, push, pull, or drag more, put it in your strength score. So with that, I think we should give him... Pardon. Let's give him a 9 in strength. And then lastly... let's cap off his charisma. Really give him unlimited power. What do you say? Knowledge to take down the man. We could bring his int up to 16 if you'd prefer. So I don't know if you want a charisma 18 or an intelligence 16. I'll put it in charisma right now, but if you want to give another reason or another stat, let me know. I don't mind changing it. -1. Oops, wrong place. -1. 3, 1, 2, 0, 5. XCat says, outside of ability checks or home rules things, what can buff core stats permanently? Oh, outside of ability score improvements. Magic items. There are some magic items that you don't have to have equipped to give you inflated stats. For instance, I think the Manual of Health, if you read it, gives you like +2 to Constitution, and I think there's a manual for all 6 of the abilities. So it really would just come down to magic items like that. So magic items, or you work with your your DM and say, look, my character is exercising all the time. I think that, can I get a little bump in strength to reflect that? If only to round me out and bring me up to the next level. Also, some feats will offer you a partial ability score improvement along with something else. Alright, now that we have this, -1, -1, 3's down the line for Dex, 1 for Con, 2's for everything except Arcana, which is going to be a 7. And saving throws are going to be 0, and everything except for Insight, which is 5. And then we have a 10 saving throw for Charisma, a 10 for Deception, and a 10 for Persuasion. And then a 5 and a 5 for Intimidation and Performance. Passive Perception is going to be 10. 10 plus your modifier. Initiative is going to be +3, since that is a Dex check. Armor class, if we're not wearing armor, it's 10 plus Dex. Bink, there's 13. Oh, we're talking about because this is a small dog. It should probably have a speed of 25, like other small creatures do, or dwarves, which are kind of borderline and straddle small to medium. Or not 15, I'm sorry, 25, which would give us a 12. Oops. Oh wait, hang on. That was 15 hit die. 25 movement. That would give us 12 climb, 12 swim, 0 fly. Oh, that's very nice of you, Chaotic. I mean, if you're taking orders. I could use one too. Hit points. At first level, you get all 6 hit points of your hit die. Then for the remaining 14 levels, half plus 1 is 4. Then for all of your levels, so all 15 of them, you get 1 extra, because that is your Constitution mod. So here we go. We have 15. 56. So this is 62. 77. Bite is strength-based. So this is going to be a +4. Our proficiency is 5 minus 1. So this is going to be 1d8 minus 1 is how savage our bite will be. However, a crossbow and a dagger can be wielded with dexterity. So that means we have a +8 over here. 3 and 3. Whoops. There we go. You'll think about it. I do take tips, by the way. If you can manifest coffee to here, I don't know how telepathically it'd happen. I'll happily give you a tip for that, Chaotic Blue. By the way, our Chaotic Evil Jack Russell Terrier Wild Magic Sorcerer, woo, what a mouthful, is no longer a bunch of stats. Let's give him a name. And let's give him some spells. We are a sorcerer. We cast off of charisma. And when we go up here, 15th level, our spell slots are 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. And you can see on this modified character sheet, on the first page, it allows you a lot better access to some magical stats that are going to come up very commonly. Your spell attack is proficiency plus charisma, because we cast off charisma, plus 10. A spell save DC is your attack modifier plus 8. That's just how it is. Always has, in 5th edition, always has been, always will be. So we can translate this now. Save DC is 18, and we have a plus 10 to our attack spells. And then we have sorcerer points equal to 15, and we've used 0 of them. We come down here. 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. Eska, type in !Char-var, CHARVAR for character variant. And I'll shoot you a link. And what's nice, there's a page 4 if you have an animal companion or a familiar. It's good stuff. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 cantrips. Now, you do have the option as you level up to modify your spells as a sorcerer, because you don't get the variety a wizard has, but you get more flexibility, okay? That's the trade-off. If we go with just how you straight up get spells, that's what I'm going to demonstrate. Just know that as a sorcerer, you do have some flexibility that when you level up, you can swap a spell if something isn't working for you. Alright, Derek, be well, my friend. I wish you luck. I really look forward to hearing how that game goes. Like, I'm excited too for this to happen, man. So when we zoom in, you see here at first level it says spells known to. This is one way that I suggest you indicate your spells. Do you have to do it this way? No. It makes it easy. That way you know, especially if you're swapping out spells at different levels, when did you get this spell? And why is it in the tier it's in? Purple drink is your downfall, though, Chaotic. So here you see at level 1, we have 2 spells known. At level 2, our spells known go to 3. Obviously, then, here's our 3rd spell, right? But because we don't know any, we don't have any 2nd level spell slots, we can't choose a 2nd level spell. However, at level 3, we now go to spells known 4, and that 4th one can be a 2nd level spell. And now what you're going to see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then, this is where you have to watch out. You can't just repeat it. In fact, here, let's take it one step at a time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. By the way, you can also put, if you don't print out spell cards or anything, you can also put page numbers and other references in these slots. 9, 10. Okay, so we've reached level 9, and that unlocks 5th level spell slots, as per what you see. When we go to level 10, you see we go from spells known from 10 to 11. Got it. When we go to level 11, up here we go. Here's level 11. Aha, but level 12. Spells known is still only 12. And you can see that happens again on 13 and 14 and 15 and 16. So, nothing at 12. Level 13. And then level 15. Now, there's nothing stopping you just because you can learn a level 8 spell. You could put it back in level 1 if you really want to. Maybe you want a broad base of scalable low-level spells. That's fine. During a level up event, if you don't get any use out of this spell you learned at level 8, but you say, oh my gosh, I would love to get a second... I would love to get a second level 7 spell. Well, look, you don't get a spell, necessarily, at level 14. So what you do is on that level, if you want, you could just sort of move your level 8 over there and put, I don't know, level 8/14, or call it just level 14. Or otherwise note. Make sure you note when, where, why, how, etc. you got your spells. It can help you, it's good roleplay, and it can help keep your character knowledge sorted out. But anyway, if we're just doing a kind of a vanilla spell spread, here we go. Alright, Dark Wolf. Sleep well, Miss Awu. Thank you for your service. So now I guess we could take a peek at what spells perhaps we want to give him. And Dark Wolf, you wanted to name him Russel Jack. Okay. Now, given the fact that he has metamagic to empower his spells, he's probably going to take a lot of damage spells. That's a blah name. You're getting tired? Okay, X-Cat, I'll see you around. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And hey, there's always Discord. Be well, my friend. Let's see. I think he's definitely vindictive enough to go for Chill Touch. Not only does that damage, it prevents healing. He'd probably take Mage Hand for utility. Message for communication. Maybe Acid Splash? Acid Splash and Ray of Frost can have some good RP or non-combat utility. And then probably Minor Illusion. He does pride himself on knowledge. He would probably take Detect Magic. I don't think he'd take Disguise Self, because he can deceive people pretty well as it is. If he wants to maximize damage, Magic Missile. For sure. Especially because he can re-roll that stuff, and it's guaranteed damage. It's guaranteed punishment. And... ooh, Ray of Sickness will punish people as well. I don't know if he needs Disguise Self, though. He's very good at deception, and he's very charismatic. I don't know if he really has a need to physically disguise himself. Yeah, I mean, if you make a point otherwise chaotic, I don't want to poo-poo your idea. I'm very open-minded. I guess this is just my stream of thought to keep the channel rolling and to inspire you to challenge or come up with an alternative, and I don't mind swapping it out. Level 2. Shatter for sure. And ha! Enlarge, reduce. Maybe he has you know, some problems with his size. You know, he wants to bolster himself every now and again. Again, if you want to change any of these up, let me know. I'm not married to these spells and say it has to be this way. This is my channel. Third level. How can we punish people? Sleet Storm. Use it for Intimidate. Well, he's also proficient in Intimidation. He has a +10 to that. No, he can stick to acting like a normal dog. Doesn't know if you want to extend the concept or not. All right, we can. You know, the dogs are individuals as well. Just because they're all awakened doesn't mean that they're all similarly awakened or have a similar outlook. Aha. Levitate. He may be small, but he'll make himself rise up above everyone else, and from that platform, pew pew pew, rain down death. You think fear killer? Sure, I could put fear. Is that Sorcerer EF? Wait. Oh yeah, fear for 3rd level. Oh wait, fear is 3rd level. I'm already in 4th. What do you want to get rid of for fear? Sleet Storm? Levitate? He doesn't seem to want to take the passive approach, killer. Let's go. Maybe Ice Storm and... Dominate Beast could be interesting, because not only would he be asserting himself over a larger beast, but he would have that beast, you know, throw himself in between between him and an attack. And you know what? Chaotic Evil, you're impulsive and selfish. I think that'd work. You know, how would you like them otherwise displayed, Chaotic? I agree that this could have been done in different ways, like maybe put R for ritual after it, or, you know, things like that for reference. Or a page number as well. I don't know. I guess it's all alphabetical. I don't know if a page number would be redundant. Level 5. Cloud Kill. You could blame that one on the dog. Ooh, Creation could be a good one as well. He wants to live a good life. He's been a good boy, hasn't he? 6th level. Disintegrate. Oh, you think Dominate Person for 6th level? Okay. 7th level. Finger of Death. How about that? Head Pet of Death. And finally, I guess if we want to continue the dominance, Dominate Monster. Dominate Beast, Dominate Person, Dominate Monster. Finger of Death, Cloud Kill, Creation, Ice Storm. Fear, Levitate, Shatter, Enlarge, Reduce. Detect Magic, Magic Missile, Ray of Sickness. And then a mix of damage and utility cantrips. I think that seems good. Acid Splash, Ray of Frost. And Minor Illusion. Madame Grin will have her work cut out for her. That's right, TJ. This is an interesting Jack Russell Terrier, isn't it? He still needs a name, by the way. What would we like to name our sorcerer? He is a small dog, and yeah, he has small dog syndrome. I was just thinking that too, Killer. Eska, you want to name him Ford Grimson? Is there, does it just sound rugged, or what is there, what's the story behind the name for you? His name is Happy, with the title of Evil Incarnate. Oh, you play a sorcerer named Ford Grimson? And you want to see him as a terrier with small dog syndrome? Norman Dusk? What's the story behind that, Killer? Mr. Prince? Oh, I gotcha, Caddick Blue. That's a good observation. You know, the core 3 books are going to be getting a reprint with a special cover coming out here in November, I think. And maybe they've gotten feedback on that. And if you pick up the special, like these special reprints, maybe it'll have a little less page flipping like that. Eska says, actually, my sorcerer is Ford Luck Grimson. Sorcerer Wild Magic. That likes gambling. The reason why my surname is Luck, always won a bet out of pure luck. Ah. Norman is a small dog that always bit me, and Dusk always scared him away from me. Ah. Well, so let's combine some... Name him after Eska. Okay, Killer Sense. Ford Grimson. Yeah, I hope so too, Caddick. If this is an opportunity to try and, repackage, rebrand the Core 3, it's a good time to do it. Okay. Well, he doesn't have a pet of his own. But, I don't know, all that domination, maybe he gets one. Heck, maybe he's the one who is using Grin Sensei through a series of domination spells. And so he's really like the mastermind. Like, Grin Sensei's the leader, but Ford Grimson is like the shadow prime minister of the party. And then you have Rex and Freya, who are kind of the muscle carrying things along as students. And of course, Ford is also pretending to be a student despite him actually being the master. A pet human child? Ah! Yeah, we can look up an NPC stat, Chaotic. That would be something. Take a human as a familiar. That'd make him overpowered. I love it. You all are so creative. You really are. TJ, no! Grin Granny! What if... Well, you can also look at it this way. What if Granny knows and accepts the domination and commands because she hopes that her love and her not judging him despite his evil ways. You know, like, when she finally reveals, like, you've never had to cast those spells the whole time. I still love you and you're still my student. Maybe that would make Ford realize, wow, you know, all this time I've been forcing, I've been manipulative, and really all I had to do was just be honest because someone does care about me. We can entertain that as an idea too, TJ. Escarut says, I have a question. I would like my sorcerer to provide health potions for my group. How would you go about it? It seems that alchemy is long and fastidious, and I could just buy a health potion in Neverwinter. You're doing the Mine of Fandelver. Well, I mean, just buying them straight up is going to be the easiest. To make them, though, you would have to have access to... you'd have to have access to the proper materials and, like, a lab or the proper artisan tools to make them, Eska. So that would probably require a proficiency in alchemical tools. Maybe your DM would let you get away with a poisoner kit. Maybe an herbalism kit. Something along those lines. You're really going to have to work with your DM on that, Eska. Just be honest. Say, look, I would like to start making potions if I can. Can you help me through the process? You know, how you would let me make potions. Here's my character. Here's the things I'm good at. And, Eska, if you ask for a favor or a concession from your DM, be willing to provide some sort of offering or an idea or something, because your DM might say, well, I don't mind it, but I don't know how it works, and they may not want to look into it. But if you go up to your DM and you proffer this idea, you say, I'd like to do it. You know what, though? I don't have proficiency in an alchemist kit or an alchemist tool, or brewer supplies or something along those lines. Or you say, I don't have alchemy. I do have brewing. Would you allow for that? And maybe, you know, I change things up a little bit. Be willing to negotiate and be willing to give something to get something. And I think you'll find more success than not with that, using that style, Eska. Killer Sense, you think that Granny here always thinks he's evil, even though he's not? She always justifies his actions. Katic Blue, M like a parent figure, and he may just be misguided or abused like Rex probably was, and is using violence now to get back at humans. Ah. Yeah, please do, Eska. And you know what? I'd love to hear the results. If you don't mind coming back for tomorrow's broadcast and letting us know how it went. Question is, will her making excuses make it worse, or will he come around to her love? Oh, that's compelling. Look, a prospect of redemption can be a very powerful storytelling tool. Killer Sense, you see her more as an enabler? Alright, well, I'll tell you what, everyone. We've made our second character of the night. I think we should take another little stretch break. If you got to use the restroom, get a drink or a snack or whatever. And let's meet back up here after a little bit. And then, hey, it's free play time. Killer Sense of Humor, speaking of character motivation and backstory and whatnot, actually has a backstory that he would like some input on. And said that I can review it on stream, and so I think we can do that. And maybe we can help Killer Sense of Humor if you notice anything that could use improvement. Maybe there's questions that are brought up. But I will present it and read it on stream, and let's help Killer Sense of Humor fine-tune his story for his goblin. So, all right. Be back 5-10 minutes at most, and then we'll get going from there, okay?